Hi, this is Mr. Roche. We are here doing CS2 work to get some JavaScript going, and we're going to work on making kind of a little dot moving thing. So what I wanted to do was get that going, and we had from class we had a piece of it, which was the bouncy house. So what I did was I have a header here, right? I made a menu. Bar, and then what I wanted to do was I wanted to have it be able to do this, okay, just so when you click on it you can add things to it and you can experiment with different things, okay. And what we're doing is we're using sort of drawing commands in something called Canvas, and we have to use something called an event listener, and an event listener is something that would listen, like on the system would listen for a mouse click and receive that information from the system. It goes, hey, the mouse clicked, and you can get the coordinates of that and then draw a circle wherever you click. Okay, so we completely love this, and what we'll do is we'll start making the dots like move around next time and see if we can animate them. Okay, but right now I think the smart thing to do is just to get this kind of done. So I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so here's what you got so far. You have a bouncy house, right? It's got a link to a style sheet. It's got a heading. It's got a div for the menu bar. I put some buttons in mine and an extra div for like scores. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to use this, but I want to do that. Have something going with it. And I also have a div for my canvas, and I stuck an HTML canvas, which is the thing we can draw on in here. Okay. Now the next thing you do to get the canvas to be active is basically you have to run it with like a JavaScript. So we're going to put a script in here, okay? And let's do this first. Let's make a new file, okay? And I'll put it over here with styles, I guess. And this is going to be a JavaScript file. JavaScript, you can go like this is a JavaScript file. Okay, and there's like a different type of comment that you can use here. So we'll do it, and there's a thing called an alert, which we've actually learned about, and we'll just make it say like hi, so we can get the thing like working. We'll know, you know. Okay, this is the JavaScript file. So it's going to do this, and it'll send us something back. Okay, and then we can do more with it. Okay, and what we have to do is activate. So you have to save this. Okay. So you want to do a save as, and I already have a JavaScript folder, okay, and I made the thing that is working here. So I'm going to make another one called bouncy ball, okay, JS, okay, and I'm going to save it in my JavaScript folder. So I have index, I have CSS, and like you guys are going to have to here, wait a second. If you save it, if you do save as here, you guys are going to have to do in bouncy here. You're going to make a new folder. Okay, I already have one, so I'm not going to do it. But you're going to make a new folder called JS. Okay, so mine's already taken. So and then you're going to have to go in here and save it as something like bouncy ball. Okay, so there's bouncy ball JS. Okay, so bouncy ball JS is now it knows it's like a JavaScript file. So to link it to your page, though, you're going to have to normally put links up here, but this is not the place for that. People put their script links at the bottom of the body so that the page will load and then the script will start running. So you're going to make a script tag. Okay. And the script tag is going to look like this, and then it's going to have an src element that's going to go, or attribute that's going to go JS, and we called ours, it's going to be called just like it is up here, bouncyball.js. Okay, and then we can do save all and test it out. So there it goes. So see what happens is the first thing it does this alert, and then if you say okay, then the bouncy house starts. Okay, and we're gonna take it from there. So the next thing we have to do is we have to get some access to the canvas. Okay, and okay, and I'm gonna paste two commands here, and we're gonna look at them. Okay, basically what we have to do is document is like the web page, okay, in JavaScript, and you can get element by ID, and I called mine my canvas. Okay, so here's my canvas right here. It's ID'd as my canvas. Okay, and so that's going to be it. So the, like a kind of a link to the canvas is going to get like saved in a variable in our JavaScript file called canvas. Okay, and then there's a thing called a context which you have to get out of the canvas, and this is the it's almost like the marker. It's the thing that lets you draw. It's the thing that has kind of control over all the drawing commands on the canvas. Okay, so the command for this is to go. So now we have a variable called canvas or a link to our canvas, and it goes canvas get context, and we're going to save that. Okay, and that's going to get us going. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to set up some data, holders for the dots. Okay, and basically what I need to do is I need to set up a variable, which is a var, right, which you know from doing exercises, and one's going to be called like dot size. Okay, and I don't know, I'm going to make that like I think like 10. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is I need to like hang on to the x and y coordinates, okay, that we use. Okay, so I'm going to have like a var x coord like list or something like that. Okay, and a list is called something called an array in JavaScript. So I need to go like this. Okay, so this is going to hold like all the x coordinates. Okay, and then I'm going to make another one for all the y coordinates. Okay, and that's pretty good. So if we have this and this, that would be good. If you wanted to, you could actually make kind of an interesting, like you could make colors or things like that. We can start messing around with that. But an array is a kind of a data structure. It's a simple data structure that holds like a list of things. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to be able to, when I click, I want to be able to get the x and get the y, and then kind of put it on these lists. Okay, and there's a function called push, which is what we're going to use to do it. Now, to get this to work, we have to add a bunch of functions in JavaScript that will let us do some things. Okay, so first off, when you click, I'm going to need to be able to get the mouse position. So when I click, I need to get like a coordinate of wherever the mouse is, and that will be something that we're going to save. Okay, so I'm going to get the mouse position, like an XY. Okay, gets, I don't know what this does, but what it does is it gets XY coordinates. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I need to put these XY coordinates up on these lists. So as soon as I click, I'm going to put an X here, and I'm going to put an Y here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a redraw. Okay, and redraw the scene, and that's basically what happens. And all of these three activities are triggered by the action listener. So what's going to happen is when you click, okay, the event listener is going to say, hey, okay, get mouse position, add click, redraw. So when you click, it's going to say this, this, and this. Okay, but we have to write them. And I think JavaScript, some forms of JavaScript don't have this ability to go like, if I'm calling them here, I have to be kind of defined up here. So I'm going to define each one, and I'll show you what they look like. The first one, get mouse position. What's going to happen is it's going to get a reference to the canvas, okay, and it's going to get a reference to the event, which is the the fact that the mouse got clicked. Okay, it's like a click event is what's going to get sent here. So it's going to know what's going on, and so the click event's going to have the x and y. Okay, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to compute some x and y coordinates. Okay, here, and it's going to send them back up to whoever called them. Okay, so so that's that, and it's going to send it, I guess, in a sort of a package. So so anyway, first off, what it does is it gets the bounds of the rectangle, so it knows where it is, it figures out the X and Y coordinates from the mouse, and then it kind of gives you a spatial location based on this equation of those X and Y coordinates. And so that's get mouse position. Okay, let's look at add click. This is add click. Okay, add click starts off with this. Okay, and X and Y comes to it. You send it an X and a Y, and what it'll do is it will put the X coordinate on the X list, the X coordinate list, put the X coordinate here on this X coordinate list, and it'll put the Y coordinate on the other list. It's pretty simple, but they're using this function that comes with arrays called push. Push means it'll stick it on the back end of the array. So as the array grows, like all your coordinates will be, the last coordinates will be the most recent ones, and that's add click. Okay, so you can just stop it and get this going. So that's 2 out of 4. We're almost there. This is the I'm gonna skip the redraw for right now. Okay, but this is the event listener. Okay, so right now I'm just kind of leaving it blank here, but this is the event listener. Okay, so what it does is it on your canvas it attaches this thing called an event listener, and it'll trigger on a mouse down. There are other ones like mouse up. You can have one that triggers on. If you drag the mouse, it can do it. Things like that. There's different things that an event listener can be triggered to. So it's going to do this. It's going to kind of stick this extra thing on our canvas. Okay. And what's actually really cool is that you can define an event. Okay. So what's going on is I'm actually passing. We're going to pass the routine that we want it to run to the mouse listener right now. And this is how you do this. People do this a lot in JavaScript. It's kind of cool. So instead of passing a number to this function, you can actually pass like code to it. Okay, so we're going to have a function on the event. What we're going to do is we're going to go call up get mouse position, which is this guy up here. So it's going to go get the mouse position for us, and we're going to load those X and Y coordinates into here. Okay. I'm going to have this in here as protection so I can know where the mouse position is. I want to sort of check that. Then with the mouse position, I can go add click, and I can get the mouse X and the mouse Y, and it's going to call up this and add the click to the coordinate list. And this is how the coordinates get saved. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to call our redraw function, okay, and we're just going to kind of every time we click, we're going to do this and kind of redraw the screen. To check what's going on, you can go like this and like open up the thing. The console will show up like in developer tools, but the alert will show up on your screen. So if you want the alert to show up on your screen, do this, and it'll pop up. Okay. And then the last thing we got to do is do like a draw. The final function that we need redraw. Okay, redraw will take the context, the little kind of drawing routine that can come with the canvas, and what we'll do is we'll actually clear it. We're going to kind of clear everything off of it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to run a small loop. You might have this is kind of a for loop like from Swift times, where it goes from 0 to the end of the coordinate. So for every coordinate on the list, we're going to do the same thing, and whatever happens inside a loop that starts here goes to here. This repeats again and again and again for every coordinate on the list. And this is how you set one up. You start at the beginning, you set an end to the coordinate list, and then you let the list kind of bump up by 1. So it'll start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in computer science, these lists, these arrays, they always start at 0. So the first push will happen like it will be at position 0. And then the next one will be at position 1. The next one at position 2, like that. Okay. And what we're going to do is the thing draws paths apparently, and so you have to do a begin path, and then there's actually a command to draw an ellipse. Okay. So this is the x coordinate of it. Okay, and that's getting the 0th or the whatever I coordinate, whatever one on the list I'm getting off. I'm getting the 2 x and y coordinates. Dot size is something we defined up here. We're saying dot size is 10. You could play with that. Okay, on an ellipse, there's 2 types of dot sizes, so you could make them like weird and googly if you change these 2. Okay. This is these are like angles. This is like how far you want it. You want to go like fully all the way around in this. Okay, and then this is like I think a form of the angle change is going to make. So I'm going to set the drawing tool to fill up the oval with or the circle with red, and then I say fill, have it be done, and then I have to